The Vikings are on a 3-game win streak ahead of Sunday's matchup in Miami. This is Pick 6 presented by KFAN. I'm Tatum Everett, and we called for your questions, and you answered. And we have an exciting lineup of guests that will answer those questions. So let's get it going with Marie from Roseville, who wanted to ask head coach Kevin O'Connell, what is your game day routine, and how has that changed since you were a player? Well, Marie, we got Coach to answer your question.
Thank you for that question, Marie from Roseville. I would say that my game day routine is now one where I do get to the stadium earlier, and I spend quite a few moments, just in final preparation to call the game, make sure we account for all the situations that are going to come about, any last-minute conversations with coaches and/or players to make sure that when we run out of the tunnel, we're ready to go. I used to be a big get out and throw a lot of balls in pregame warm-ups and get out and be on the field 2-3 hours before the game just throwing balls all day, because I wouldn't throw very many during the game once they started. So I do miss that. I do miss getting out there with my teammates early on. But it is a great game day atmosphere at US Bank. Love our locker room. Loved our home setup. Makes for a heck of a home field advantage for us.
Sunday also marks Coach O'Connell's 10th time facing Miami as a player or a coach. Moving on to question number 2, it's from Michael Halling on Twitter. He asks, where is Adam Thielen and why do we insist on ignoring him in the offense? Well, Michael, we went to voice of the Vikings, Paul Allen, to answer this one.
Thank you, Michael. We appreciate the question. Now, ignoring Adam Thielen in the offense, with all due respect, that's flat wrong. Nobody's being ignored. If you look at the way the ball's being distributed, you have backup tight ends who are catching passes. But consider this, Mr. Halling, through 5 games last year, Adam Thielen had 26 receptions. Through 5 games this year, he has 25.
Sunday's Boom is at noon, and you can hear Paul on the call on KFAN. Moving on to question number 3, this is from Aaron Epstein. He says, the energy in this team is completely different, which is why they're winning games this year. My question, what do we need to do to improve on the line defensively? Lack of pressure this season has put the DBs under the microscope at times. Well, Aaron, we thought this question would be best answered by defensive coordinator Ed Donatel. I was able to catch up with Coach D right after practice.
Thanks, Aaron. We have really been deliberate as a staff all the way through Coach O'Connell and Kwesi and all of our coaches to bring the energy up with our team. And our veteran players have been outstanding with this. We have a great locker room chemistry. We're continuing to play better ball, and we're going to grow our defense and get stronger and stronger. And it's all working together, and you'll see it improve week to week.
Thank you, Coach Donatel. It's another Twitter question for number 4. It's coming from Robert, and he asks, what do the players think about some of the trick plays we've run this year so far? Had to ask JJ on this one. Justin Jefferson, take it away.
I like the trick plays that we have done so far this year. I hope we have more, especially with me throwing the ball. So hopefully I can get a passing touchdown finally, and I guess we'll see.
I don't think we mind Justin Jefferson adding passing touchdown to his NFL resume at all. Moving on to question number 5, it's a Twitter submission from Tyler Morin. What needs to happen with our defense to take a step forward? Do we still need to be patient transitioning to the 3-4 defense? We're going with the Vikings legend, who also happens to be the Vikings radio sideline reporter, Ben Lieber, and put his defensive knowledge to the test on this one.
And Tyler, yes, the answer is yes. It's all about patience. And I think we're starting to see the development of this defense as the coaches figure out the best roles for our players. Look, we saw Brian Asamoah last week play some defensive snaps as a spy guy. He's super athletic, but they're starting to understand that, hey, even though he's a young guy, he's super talented, very athletic, we can use him. So I expect to see more of him in this defense. Also, it is about our pass rush. That's what's going to help out this defense so much, and they're starting to figure that out as well. The first quarter of this season, a lot of double teams on Danielle Hunter. That's not easy. Look, you got to fight off a tight end, sometimes a running back, before you even attack the offensive tackle. They're finding ways to move him around as well. Za'Darius, who in his whole career has slid up and down the defensive front, they continue to do that. But I think the biggest thing for us when it comes to pass rushing versatility is DJ Wanham is having a heck of a start to the season. He naturally comes out of a two-point stance much better, but because of that, he can go from right to left, left to right as well. So now we have 3 really good pass rushers with Daniil with his hand on the ground, maybe playing from the right side a little bit more on passing downs. I think we're going to see a lot more pressure, and because of that, I think our defense is going to look a lot better.
Thanks, Ben. We'll see you in Miami. This is our final question, and it's coming to us again from Twitter. It's Shriekonomics, who says, ugly W any day over the L. Do you think this regime has what it takes to sustain these wins compared to the old ones, and why? Well, who better to speak about this than Vikings Entertainment Network's Gabe Henderson, who's seen both seasons. Gabe, you got this one.
I appreciate the question, Siri. I do believe we do have what it takes to sustain these wins, simply because we've done them already. 3 out of our last 4 wins have come by a touchdown or less. The fact that we're in these close games and winning them now, when we do have all these pieces of the puzzle click together, later in the year when we get in these close games, we can go back to these close wins, which will elevate us and propel us to some of those wins later on in the year. We're winning, and that's all that matters. And like you said, I'll take an ugly W over a bad L any day of the week.
Thanks, Gabe. The Vikings look to improve to 5-1 heading into the bye. And Pick 6 is also going to take a bye next week, but will return Cardinals week. And obviously, we've used several of your Twitter submissions. So when we call for those questions, be sure to answer with your question, but also who you want to answer the question. It could be players, coaches, Vikings legends, or national media experts. For now, my name is Tatum Everett here inside TCO Studios, and this has been Pick 6 presented by KFAN.